What is up, YouTube? It's Psychedelic Scizor, and I am here with my GDS Invitational Tour draft analysis. That's kind of a mouthful, and I kind of was remembering my way through it as I started, but it is a low-tier tournament. It is basically Tier 3 and below, although it is tailored more for the actual how things play out in the low tiers, so certain things are dropped lower, certain things are risen higher. To be fair, I think the tiers have a lot of room for improvement. I'd say generally they're good, but there's definitely a couple of, well, what the fuck moments. But, you know, with how new this concept is, that's gonna happen. But, I'm not gonna beat around the bush too much. I was really interested in doing this tour because I love playing low tier. As you guys know, I have uploaded some NU League. I've played a lot more than I've uploaded. So yeah, I took my shot. And I guess we're gonna see what we have to work with for that shot. So initially I wanted actually Zygarde 10% plus Rabombi, but Zygarde got drafted 2 picks before me. I was 5th out of 8 in my draft pool, so I just went and got Rabombi first round. Absolutely just dominating speed tier for the low tiers. It's just a blistering fast mon in general, and take out a bunch of the higher tier fast mons, and it is just, versus most teams, it's going to be the fastest thing on either team, and a lot of times, even if they have something faster, it's not going to be nearly as threatening as Rabombi. So I definitely like having that. It's naturally fast, it's the best sticky web setter in the tier. It also is a Quiver Dance threat, Specs threat. I mean, it's got momentum with U-turn. It can defog if it really feels the need to, although it's not a particularly good one, but it has it. And yeah, Rabombi is one of my favorite mons to use. I love it personally, just because of that speed and Quiver Dance and reliable recovery and Roost. But we're gonna see how it translates to low tier. I definitely had fun with it in CPC last season. I feel like it was a lot better than its numbers actually indicate. It was a lot more of a threat on paper. So yeah, we'll just see what we can do with it. And to replace Zygarde 10%, I basically got Flygon. And what Flygon lacks in speed, 1,000 arrows, and extreme speed, it makes up for with Levitate, better bulk, defog, it's a good defogger, the ability to run special sets, and in kind of conjunction with that bulk, I think it's a better Dragon Dancer. It was kind of hard for me to not make this a Z-Mon, but you can only pick one, and you'll see later in my draft what I did choose to make my Z-Mon, and I think that Mon needed it more than Flygon did, because Flygon is gonna be able to utilize choice items a lot really well, whereas the other Mon pretty much needs Z moves. Goddamn. But yeah, I really like Flygon. It has been a long time since I've used it. In fact, I don't know if I've used it in Gen 7, honestly. It may have been Gen 6 the last time I used it. But Flygon is just super versatile. Because I should have said this at the start, I'm definitely going for a big, bulky offense, a little bit hazard stack kind of game plan for my draft. And that's just because I think it's the best playstyle in low tier. I think offense is the best playstyle in tours in general. And so I think that kind of just added well for a Volt Turn bulky offense. I'm kind of getting back to my comfort zone too, and that's what I've always played most comfortably with. So I'm trying to get a draft that I'm very comfortable with, and Flygon is one of those kinds of mons. Got a little bit of bulk, can come in, can U-turn out. I really enjoy that about Flygon. I also enjoy that about my next pick, Mesprit, and I guess I should also say we each got 3 tier 1s, 3 tier 2s, and 3 tier 3s. And so I could have gone for my last tier 1 pick, but I actually was going to leave that for my very last pick because there was a bunch of good tier 1 mons, and I was kind of just going to wait until late in the draft to decide what I wanted, and instead I wanted to focus on getting value in my lower tier picks. So in the 3rd round, I got tier 2 Mesprit, which is really just a steal, honestly. It could be good enough to be maybe an average to slightly below average tier 1, but I think it's a really good tier 2. Super reliable stealth rocker, U-turn, it's a good choice scarfer or specs user. Got trick and, well, I believe it has trick. It does, right? Yep, it has trick room. Has access to Healing Wish, which is incredible for some of my setup threats like Rabombi or Flagon. And just the crazy coverage on both sides. Mesprit is such a good mon. It is the Mew of lower tiers to an extent. I'm not going to be the one that full-on says it is, because it's got a ton of things that Mew doesn't have. Or, it lacks a lot of things, I should say. But Healing Wish is super nice, super reliable stealth rocker. So that's going to be really nice, because super reliable stealth rockers are kind of hard to come by in low tiers, so getting one of the best was definitely nice. And I picked up another in my next pick with Diancie. Diancie is another really good tier 2 in my opinion. I don't think this one could be a tier 1, but I think it's a really good tier 2. It is just a tank. 150 in each defense stat. It is super fat. But also the 100 in each attacking stat, it's not a passive wall. It's definitely got a little oomph to it, especially with high base power moves like Diamond Storm and Moonblast, and great coverage and Earth Power. Diancie could be an offensive threat too, honestly. But it's another super reliable stealth rocker. Got some cleric options with Heal Bell, and it added another really reliable stealth rocker to my team that I don't really think lost me too much momentum because of the amount of offensive pressure that can still put on as a defensive mon. And that's the big thing. I don't want anything on my team to lose me momentum. I want to be putting on pressure with everything. That's been my problem in the past. I've been so concerned with defensive synergy that I have drafted some pretty passive mons that I feel like just don't play into my style. So I'm hoping to go back to my original roots. Now, no recovery really on either of these walls, but I typically don't recover all that much with them anyway, so I'm fine with that, honestly. Next, in the 5th round, I got a tier 3 pick in Qwilfish. And I think Qwilfish is a steal at tier 3. I think it could easily be tier 2. And that's just because it is such a damn good T-Spiker and a regular Spiker. Spikes in general and T-Spikes are hard to get in low tiers, especially good users of them. And I think Spike Stack is super broken in low tiers because there's not a lot of good hazard removers. They're not nearly as many. So I think having a good Spike Stacker like Qwilfish is incredible. It also adds bulky water to my defensive core, a grounded poison for opposing T-Spikes. Intimidate is super nice. I do have the Swift Swim option, so that's definitely a possibility. It does have Swords Dance and Rain Dance, and so who knows what I could do with that. But it's a super good utility mon, has Taunt too. It's faster than most walls, so that helps it being a taunter as well. That was the goal. I wanted to make sure I got this. I knew when I came into my draft I wanted Qwilfish because it was way too good a value for tier 3 in my opinion. Next, we rounded out my tier 2 picks with Braviary. Braviary, I used that in NBL Season 2. Yeah, Season 2. And man, oh man, is this a good mon. It is super powerful. 123 base attack with Stab Bravebird. That's gonna hurt. Great coverage and super power to go along with its dual stabs. Man, it is just powerful. Good speed tier, not super fast, but it's an incredible choice scarfer. It also has U-turn, so I've already got 4 mons of my first 6. Yeah, 4 of my first 6 mons can all U-turn. That's incredible. Another good thing that pairs well with Qwilfish is a Defiant user. So if my opponents try to defog on me, then I could definitely come in and get a Defiant boost. So that's really, really nice. Also Sheer Force, but that really doesn't affect any of its stab moves, so it's really, unless you need like a boosted Iron Head or something like that, you know, that's really all you're going to be using it for. But, you know, it's there. And Braviary, just super strong, super good choice Scarfer, so it gives me more speed control in that sense. I really feel like I've got a ton of viable choice Scarfers, so I'm very versatile in that role. Braviary can be bulky too, can be sub-bulk up if a team is just really flying weak. Just mono Brave Bird, bulk up sets in general are just super strong on this Mon. And yeah, it's not frail. 100 HP and 75 in defenses, that's got a little bit of beef to it. Oh man, that was kind of a bad hiccup thing, I don't know what that was, ignore that. But next we have got Togedemaru, which was a really good tier 3 pick in my opinion, because steel types extremely hard to come by in low tier, especially good ones. And in tier 3, the bottom of the barrel, getting a solid steel type like this, that's a steal. Also covered my electric type, filled in my speed tiers really nice, and giving me electric immunity or Iron Barb's user. Those are its own 2 abilities, right? Well, oh no, it's got sturdy too, which is usable. And it's a good steel type. It's not super bulky, but you're also not going to run into a ton of super powerful fairies or anything where you're just going to need to take a beating. And I've got stuff like Quillfish for that too. But Togedemaru is a nice flinch mon. It's got the Zing Zap and the Iron Head, and it does have Zen Headbutt just to add to the flinch core. But it's another good pivot. It's my 5th mon that can either U-turn or Volt Switch. I believe Togedemaru gets both, right? It gets U-turn and it gets Volt Switch. Yep. So Togedemaru, more of a physical attacker than a special attacker, but it does have niche options like Nuzzle that will be great for support. And another good choice Scarfer too. So another mon that can go either way. And I really, really enjoy that. I really wish Togedemaru got spikes. It really looks like it should get spikes, but I digress. Togedemaru was definitely a nice, solid pickup. Getting a steel type in tier 3 this late and this low of a tier, I'll definitely take it. It was definitely worth it, because otherwise my team was pretty weak to electric types, because sure I had Flygon, but you know, that's just as easy as slap on HP Ice and be faster than base 100 speed. And that's not hard to do if you're a fast electric type. So Togedemaru does add that combination to where if electric types are running HP Ice, they can't touch Togedemaru. If they're running HP Ground, they can't touch Flygon. So that's a really nice synergistic core that works out pretty nice. Works out really nice, actually. Moving on, we have got Absol in tier 3. This is some power. Now, I will admit, I wanted Golurk here. It would have given me a 3rd Stealth Rocker and a similar mon as far as being a kind of slow but super powerful wall breaker. It would have traded in some speed for more bulk, but in hindsight, I think this may have actually been a blessing in disguise, because I didn't need Golurk, because like I just said, electric types I'm definitely covered on. And I definitely could use that little extra bit of speed. I just feel like Golurk would have been redundant with Flygon also there. But Absol gives me priority and Sucker Punch, which I didn't have up until this point. Gives me Pursuit and Knockoff, all very powerful, being stab and off 130 base attack. In fact, I believe other than Crawdaunt, it is like the strongest knockoff in the game. Other than Crawdaunt, and I believe Hoopa Unbound, which just got an Ultra Sun and Moon. Other than Hoopa and Crawdaunt, it's the strongest knockoff in the game, which is really impressive. It's also got a lot of good coverage options, like Play Rough, I know it gets Super Power, and it's got a good enough special attack stat. It can use special moves like Fire Blast, Ice Beam very well. And it also can play some cheeky games with Super Luck. I've definitely used it, and does it seem a little cheeky? Yeah, Super Luck plus Razor Claw, but a timely crit allows Absol to just beat its counters. I remember knocking out a floor just on the switch in with a crit Super Luck, Razor Claw, Psycho Cut, which also has a high crit ratio, so that pretty much O-coded outright, where it normally would have been a good switch into Absol. So, you know what, I'll play Scummy if I have to, because it's all in the game. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's a game mechanic that was put in here, so I might as well use it. And that little extra bit of speed is actually pretty nice for outpacing a lot of stuff. Golurk would have been slower than even a lot of walls, so that would have been an issue, but Absol here is super powerful. I'm happy with that. And finally, the steal at the very last pick of my draft is Tier 1 Virizion, which is our Z user. I have seen Virizion friggin' reap souls. I've seen somebody use it in any league I was in, went 17-2 or something like that. It was absolutely absurd. Just its versatility and setup, being able to Swords Dance or Calm Mind easily, run all-out pummeling or Bloom Doom. Usually it's all-out pummeling, I've tended to notice, but it can run all kinds of Z moves because it does have good coverage. And just that ability to so viably go physical or special, you don't know until it's too late, is just super valuable. Great speed tier. It's also super bulky on the special side, with 91 HP and 129 defense, and it does get synthesis, I believe, so it can be a specially defensive wall if need be. Yeah, it does get synthesis, and just a great offensive move pool. Also gets dual screens, just as something to note. I just didn't know that, so I felt like I'd point that out. Also, options like Taunt, which I also kind of forgot that it got. Man, Virizion is just a nice mon. So overall, this is my draft, and I really like this. This is a big throwback to my old draft style, where I wouldn't draft the sturdiest of defensive cores, but they'd be able to be just enough with all my Volt Turn to be able to stand up just long enough for my offense to be able to break through teams. And I'm just gonna have fun with this, man. This is gonna be a good time. I don't know how good a lot of the players in my pool are. I'm only familiar with a couple of them, so, you know, who knows? I might win it all, I might lose it all, but I'll let you guys know. So that is the draft analysis. If you guys like what the Oakland Azelfs are doing, make sure you like, subscribe, share, do what you do with the YouTube videos. I'm gonna get on out of here and see you guys later.